You are taking part in the Cambrian Rally this weekend.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel quite nervous about getting involved in the Cambrian Rally. You know, standing here now with the lovely backdrop behind us and the sun shining and all the cars going through scrutineering, it's easy to get carried away and get excited. But I think generally I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive because I've never done anything like this before, although the driver who's taken me around, Tony Jardine, he knows what he's doing. And so maybe he should be more nervous than me because I get the pro next to me and he gets the total amateur next to him. So perhaps he should be the nervous one, I think, for the rally, yeah.
And you say this is the first time you've done something like this, just navigating. I mean, people think navigating, it's saying go left, go right. It's a lot more than that, isn't it?
It is a lot more than that, yeah. I had a little look at the book and there's sort of things that you don't understand. So there's a C, but then there's also a C with a small circle on the top. One of them means crest and one of them means crest over air or something like that, a strange one. So there's lots of little things, and there's an arrow to the left means opens and an arrow to the right means tightens, but I'm actually not sure which way round it is. And the last thing I want to say is tightens, no, even worse, is, you know, right hand turn opens, so he puts his foot down, then it tightens, and we're in serious trouble. So yeah, there's a lot to learn, a lot to think about.
You mix with some of the best drivers in the world on a very, very regular basis, which a lot of people are quite jealous of. What tips have you picked up from them?
I think the tips I've picked up from the Formula One boys is basically just to keep your nerve and also be super confident. You know, they often get in what is essentially a prototype because those Formula One cars are not tested. You know, they do the loading tests at the factory, but they're not raced before they go to a Grand Prix. And you've got to remember, it's a bit like someone designing a car that's never been driven before and then expecting you to go and drive it at 200 miles an hour. So they have to have that sort of inner confidence that everything's going to be okay, and that's what I've got. You know, I'm just giving off the comfortable vibes at the moment.
Yeah. You have been racing before, though, with the Lotus team. I was at Silverstone. But did you find that was quite for you? Does it, the racing side, is that for you?
No, I have to be honest, my Lotus race was one of the scariest and worst experiences of my life, and I very quickly realised that I'm not cut out for racing. I'm not cut out for being behind the wheel, so I'm hoping that being in the passenger seat will be better, because it does take genuine skill to drive a car fast. It's not a case of just doing what you do when you go to the shops but doing it quicker. You know, it takes genuine ability, and I haven't got that ability, so who knows, maybe I'm better at reading. We'll find out, won't we?
And obviously you would have used your skills when you raced back from Shanghai during the ash cloud as well.
Yeah, I did, yeah. It was a good race back from Shanghai. We almost won, but I think we got pipped by Bernie Eccleston, who flew in by private jet and got back to his office. Oh no, but Bernie wins everything, doesn't he? Yeah. And he's richer than everybody else. He's a lucky man.
I said I was going to be doing this interview, I put it on Twitter that I was going to be doing this, and a few people wanted to know a few things. Yep. Chris Heath is at Chris B. Heath, wanted to know, what are Eddie and David like to handle?
Eddie and David are tricky to handle. The thing is, when you're as rich as they are and you're as successful as they are and you live a life as luxurious and fun as they do, then you're sort of in your own little bubble and you just get on with your own thing. So quite often we're in the middle of a live broadcast and one or other of them will just disappear off having a conversation with someone because they're used to that nice, relaxed life. But actually, they've become, in the last 18 months or so, really good friends, and we get on very well. And yeah, they're great fun to hang around, and I think they're good for the BBC because Eddie's got his madness and DC has got that analytical driver's mind, and the two of them complement each other well.
And one thing I want to know, where does Eddie get his clothes from?
I don't know, but I'm not going to go shopping there. Actually, it's interesting because, you know, Eddie's shirts have become almost the most talked about subject on the BBC. So, well done, Eddie, for creating that little niche for himself. He's done very well.
Yeah. Martin Brundle's grid walks are possibly some of the best things ever.
Yeah.
Would you ever like to do them yourself?
No, I don't think I could even match Martin on his grid walks. I mean, Martin is the consummate grid walk professional. He knows the drivers, he knows the team bosses, he knows the technical side of it better than I could ever. And I'm more than happy to let him go loose on the grid 20 minutes for a Grand Prix or whatever. He's the man and he's very good. So I'll let him deal with that. I'll deal with the other two.
Yeah. One or two more quick questions. A question you must get asked a lot, though. Which one is your favourite Grand Prix?
I said actually at the end of the Singapore Grand Prix this year that it might be my favourite on the calendar. Racing at night in a cool city under lights where they put on a brilliant show and they go to such effort. It makes a big difference if people turn up to watch these races and they get a huge crowd. It's just, yeah, it's a great event.